Tesla naming a new chair to replace Elon Musk after he agreed to step down from the company's board as part of that settlement with the SEC. Musk's successor is Robyn Denholm. She's been a Tesla board member since 2014, currently serves as a CFO for an Australian telecom company. Denholm is now faced with the almost impossible job of overseeing Elon Musk. So, gang, what happens with the first time there's a conflict between the two?
Well, I'll give my opinion. First of all, I think the conflict goes Musk's way. And this is
really
window dressing as far as I can tell. To bring someone in from basically Musk's inner circle and say, oh, now you're going to be my de facto boss, I think is just placating the SEC. The other thing is that, it's interesting. Back in 2015, now granted, she's not CEO, but let's call her the chief executive. Only 13% of CEOs came from the CFO ranks, and that's important because basically it's saying people that are CFOs is a different bolt of cloth from CEOs, a different set of leadership skills. Now, maybe she's different. I'm just not sure that, any CFO in this regard is going to be the right person.
She's the chairwoman, right? She became the chairwoman.
Right, but she's CFO of the telecom company.
But she became the chairwoman based on the SEC settlement on the funding secured tweet. And it's just great looking at her smile there. You get the impression that's the last time she's going to be smiling, dealing with crazy Elon. I mean, is she really going to tell him to stop smoking pot on the air? Is she going to go in there and say, Elon, you cursed out Jim Chanos, the short seller. Stop it, please. Don't rein it in. Don't say this. Yeah. No way. I mean, she's
absolutely not. She's not going to do that. Everyone said that this was a missed opportunity to actually show some accountability on this board. I mean, if she hasn't before, if they haven't been able to put a muzzle on this guy already and his tweets, like right after the settlement, he tweets that the SEC is what the Short Sellers Enrichment Commission. If they couldn't control that, why would she now?
He said that in reference to one of my stories that the SEC is still investigating them. But remember, she's on the board. She was picked by him on the board. Guess who else is on the board?
The brother.
Kimball is bro.
The brother. I mean, that's the point. This is really a buddy board. You know that phrase of where the CEO picks anybody who's going to agree with him. I mean, that's what the whole board is, right?
It is for sure. But when you look at a company like Tesla and love Elon Musk or hate Elon Musk, it's his company. So to have him be the one still, I don't think anyone expected someone to come in who was really going to try to rein in Elon Musk. It's Elon Musk's company. Tesla's going to go as far as
now,
Elon takes it.
On the other hand, stock analysts and others, investors have come around a little bit in thinking that Tesla, wasn't maybe burning as much cash, that they're making more. They've got a lot of bond payments coming due, so they're going to need more cash. But still, they are turning around a bit, right?
Yeah, obviously. And listen, the stock has bounced back. They had a good quarter. Yeah. And I wouldn't say, I think we go too far with saying it's a total buddy board. Yes, his brother's on it. This woman's actually a really really executive.
She's very smart.
If you look at her record at Telstra, almost like Tesla.
She was at Sun Microsystems.
She is cost cutting. She's very good at cost cutting. That's kind of what they need. They have cash problems. James Murdoch is on the board. Full disclosure, we should point that out. He's not quite a big buddy of Elon Musk. So these are people that there are people on that board that know that he has. They got to rein him in. But this one smelled a little to me because he actually had a role in picking her, from what I understand, and that is not much. There's not much.
Is this going to satisfy the SEC?
Yes, there is no. If you look at that settlement, there's nothing they could do. Nothing. That's the deal they cut.
But maybe,
this is a very unregulatory SEC,
Yep.
I will say.
Maybe this isn't such a bad thing, though, and for this reason. When Steve Jobs brought in that guy Scully from Pepsi, and he didn't last very long. But it wasn't any less Steve Jobs'
Scully fired
company.
him. Scully fired Steve Jobs.
And so I'm not sure that maybe it's not such a bad thing that, the figurehead is this Denholm, but it's still Musk's company. I guess it gets back to Mike's point. If you believe in Elon Musk, maybe that we're placating the SEC and things go along. And if you don't, well, then it wasn't going to be a great company anyway.
I think your analogy is great on Jobs in a different way. Steve Jobs, when he came back to Apple, right after they blew out Scully, who obviously wasn't up to the job, they bring back Steve Jobs. He was a much different CEO. He's a much more disciplined CEO. He had Tim Cook running the operations. He actually got along with his board. He wasn't like thumbing his nose at the board is kind of what he did in the earlier version. He was a much better seasoned CEO. That is not Elon Musk, and I think that's one of the problems here. The other problem is it's hard to get rid of Elon Musk like they got rid of Jobs. I mean, Elon Musk owns, I think, 20% of the firm. I mean, it's, you're going to fire him. I mean, I don't think Jobs had that much control.
Well, in the words of your buddy, President Donald Trump,
my buddy,
we will see what happens. That first conflict, we're going to see very clearly what happens.